Ghosty talk shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Ghosty Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. So today, basically my topic is fire up your relationship. Fire it up. So how do we fire up our relationship? So I am going to cover the life of a true romantic and the little things that we take for granted, which they mean a lot to us. I am going to cover a kiss. It's not just a kiss. A kiss, it has a meaning. It has to have a meaning. And the expression of love. So I'm going to cover all those things today. So hopefully I'm gonna have time to actually. So what is romance in a relationship? Romance in a relationship is the code that makes a relationship stronger, that makes the heartbeat the strongest. Without it, basically the relationship is dead. When it comes to relationship, without it is dead. And it can, without romance, it can weaken, and it can even, the relationship can even disappear. So how do you fire up your own relationship? Firing up your own relationship is a personal journey. Every relationship is different. You have to explore many things in your relationship and just find what works for you. Find what is true, what is real, and just come up with your own ideas, because sometimes some people will try to be something that they're not and trying to leave. We sometimes will have a discussion with our friends, and then we'll try to actually expecting our spouse to behave the same way that with the things like you have a conversation with your friends, they tell you that this is what I do in my relationship, and then you try and try to wanting your spouse, your relationship to do the same. So every relationship is different. What makes romance so powerful and so necessary to our lives, it is that romance, the language that comes from within, the language that your heart knows, the language that you yourself can speak with your spouse. So what makes romance when we show the one we desire, because everybody has the things they desire in life, and when you are being romantic, you can do it this in so many ways and so many unique ways. That is basically meaning you can do it in your own way. And what does a good relationship require? A good relationship requires hard work. It requires effort. It requires you to keep it alive, and for you to keep it alive, it requires an effort. You have to put an effort in that relationship. It requires its own uniqueness way, and its own unique personal anchor, and basically you have to create your own uniqueness in that relationship. You have to create your own uniqueness in that relationship, and your relationship has to be built based on you and your spouse, not somebody else, not on social media, not on the book that you've read, because that person, if I write my own book, I write my own book based on what is working for me. So you can read my book, if I have written a book, and read my book and then go and implement your own. Because as a person, everyone knows the things that they like, the things that they they don't like. So you have to, and the heart is different. Sometimes some people, they have the normal things that they do, like you tell your spouse that you love them every single day, you kiss them every single day, and but then the romantic ideas, they basically sleep. So you have to create your own romantic ideas. You can buy a book, you can do anything, just look online or orders, but create something that is unique for you, for your heart. To create something that is unique, because the romance, it comes from that image that is within, which is the spirit of love. The spirit of love that is within you, and that spirit exists. It only exists within you, not in somebody else. So basically, you're gonna have to create everything based on you. Or sometimes you could, some people communicate, the love language is different, the romance is different. Some people, they love writing notes to their spouse, or some people, they'll communicate it through text. Some people basically, people speak different languages, expression. Some people will do in a different way by giving, or some people, they will do basically like buying present. Or some people, the romantic people, like being romantic, it means you're speaking your own love language. You are basically people, they show, the love language is different. What works for me or what works for somebody else, it might be different. For some people, might want to basically, it's romantic for them to just sit there and look at each other watching TV, and to them it's romantic. And some people, their spouse, when they come home, and your spouse arrives from work or wherever they've been during the day, and they just show that the affection of how they feel by hugging, by kissing, by saying, I missed you today. People show love in different ways. And some people will buy flowers for their spouse. Some people will surprise their spouse by small things that people take for granted. It could be the anything that you know your spouse likes, the small things like you go to Sainsbury's or you go to the supermarket, you see something, you see a food like your spouse that they like, and then you pick that up and you give it to your spouse. You bring it to your spouse because you know they like. And it could be simple ice cream that you know that your spouse loves this type of ice cream, and then it could be taking them for a date, or basically planning a date night at home. It could be a date night, does not have to be expensive. So people show romantic in so many ways. Or you can, people express their romantic with words, or sometimes a phone call, discussing in the day, talking about things in the day, and in so many ways. So that's how you basically, that's how people you can actually, that's how you can actually fire your relationship up again. Because when you meet somebody, you make an effort that you want to do this for your spouse, you want to do this for your loved one, for the person that you're dating. But once the person says, yes, I want to get exclusive with you, we intended to forget. We intend to actually forget to actually make an effort with our spouse. We think, oh, just because we are married, we don't have to do anything in life. It becomes all about children. In life, it becomes all about work. But then we forget that the little things that we take for granted can actually fire up the relationship. So it's the little things, like you have to find your own language that speaks to you. You have to find that spirit within, the spirit of love that is within you, and fire up your relationship based on your character, based on your spouse's character, based on what they love. Don't go on social media and start watching your friends and they taking pictures, they been out for a meal with their spouse, and then you try to wanting your spouse to behave in the same way. It doesn't work. So you have to create your own fire up your relationship in your own way. Some people loves cooking. I find it very romantic when somebody cooks for me, when my spouse cook for me. I find that is very, very romantic because I have not cooked the food. And I love it when somebody cooks for me. Some people like, say, basically having their dinner with candles. If you are that person that love candles, just go for it. Go with the candles and have those candles. And if the weather is best, and some people love to go out, some people love to go for walks, some people loves to go for picnic, some people loves uh, playing board games, some people love just relaxing. To them, basically sitting with their spouse and relaxing, to them is it has a meaning to them. Some people likes to go to basically they like to travel. To them, they like to fire up their relationship by traveling to extravagant lifestyle. Is people live a different life, so you just have to find your own language, find what works for you, what's speaking for you, find what's uh, the reason why it's important for you to actually find what works for you is because you are in that relationship with your spouse. And if you start using somebody else's language, like you read a book and you want your spouse to behave exactly the same way like what you've read in the book, it's not going to work. the reason why I'm saying it's not going to work, because it's not really your spouse. You've read something and they want you to be happy, so they just going to agree. But if you know your spouse, when you met them, you sit down with them and you talk about the things that you love, and when you talk about the things that you love and you know what kind of things that makes them happy, and you basically work firing up your relationship, you work around their character, you work around your character as well, and that relationship will shine. And is you bring the rhythm in your relationship, because when you're playing like spirit of love, I always talk about the spirit of love, how when you are basically you are in a relationship somebody, you have to enter the spirit of love and relate with that person. And when you relate with the person you are dating, you sympathize with them, you get to really really know them. And Tony Robbins talk about how you need to enter somebody's world and get to know them, get to understand them. I think it is very, very important if you want to fire up your relationship to basically get to know that person, what makes them happy, the little things that makes them happy. Some people believe that you have to spend lots of money in a relationship to fire up your relationship. You don't have to. It's just getting to know somebody, the little things that makes that person happy, they make a big difference, the little things. So basically you have to make an effort. You have to play your own song in that romance. What songs do you like? When I'm saying play your own song, I'm not saying actually playing your own song, playing your own music in your heart, like taking charge, driving, being the driver in that relationship, not your friends, not your family, not anything that you've read on social media. So you have to be somebody that is driving that relationship. You have to play your own song. You have to express from your heart how you are feeling that person, with how you are feeling. Express your feelings. If it is love that you are feeling, express it. You can write a song. Even if you are not a songwriter, you can write a song. Even if or you can buy some. You can show love. You can fire up love in so many ways, so many ways. And everything, just do what speaks in your heart, because your heart speaks to you. And when somebody is like you have to learn to actually pay your just compliment somebody in that relationship. When the compliment is basically when it's necessary, you compliment them. If they go and have a haircut, or they get dressed and they're looking good, or they get up in the morning and they look all scruffy, but you find them very, very attractive because that is your lover, just compliment them and say, honey, you basically, you look amazing, because they just get up in the morning. You don't have to compliment somebody just because they're dressed up or anything. You just, all those little things that just compliment somebody. Give them hugs. Anytime you feel like it, you just go for hugs. And go to town. If your loved ones they love flowers, buy them flowers. And go to a massage with them, or maybe just give them a massage. I'm not good at giving somebody a massage anyway. I always do the massage, and they always, my children always tell me that I'm not good at the massage because I have to do it hard, and their dad. So I'm not good at giving them massage. I prefer to go to a massage place and just have a day out. Can you, if it is your language that you speak, you can leave a note on the bed and tell them how much they mean to you, how much you love them. And when you're thinking about them, or you can give them a call and tell them that you're thinking about them, and spontaneously, while they're at work, just disturb them at work deliberately. Just say, honey, I thought about you. I am thinking about you. And in public, when you're walking, just place around your arms around your spouse. Is an affection to show them that you love them. And just when you're walking, like somebody's walking and they're walking at the front, and you're walking at the back, and it's like, and then I see sometimes people who are in a relationship in town, sometimes they tell each other off. The other one is telling this one off, and it's just, sometimes it could be that's how people they are, but sometimes you have to enjoy every moment with that person, because it's like, of course, the talk shows of the video, we say there are no guarantees. And we didn't know in 2020 that we're gonna wake up in the morning and being told that we are gonna go to on lockdown, and there are no guarantees in life. So you want to live every step where you walk. You want to leave a mark of somebody to remember you. When you are in a relationship with somebody, you want them to remember you, because life has no guarantees. Even your relation, when the relationship ends, you want that person to date women or to date men and just say, you know what, my relationship did not work with that person, but I had so much fun. You want them to remember, not to remember you by screaming and shouting, blaming, and you want them to remember you. So that's how you have to understand that when you are in a relationship, you have to make an effort. You have to make an effort, not just, okay, I'm looking for a girlfriend, or I'm looking for a boyfriend, I'm single. And then once you get that girlfriend, you don't know what to do with that girlfriend. And then you have that girlfriend, you believe that, okay, I don't have to make an effort. I can just give her the money to go shopping, or I can just give her this. It doesn't work. So you still have to make an effort in a relationship. It's very, very, very important. It's very, very important to kiss somebody, not just for the sake of kissing. The kiss has to have a meaning to it. When you are kissing somebody, even if they're coming from work, give them a kiss that it has a meaning. That is romance. And that is actually, sometimes it's like when you learn to give people a kiss, to give your spouse a kiss with meaning, that means even on your first date, when you do meet somebody, that you're gonna do that. So it is very, very important to have that, bring out that spirit within. And basically, make somebody remember when they're at work. Let them remember you. Let them remind them what love is about. Because some people, they have this thing that, okay, in a relationship you have to kiss somebody, so they're just gonna give that person a sloppy kiss, and that's fine. You have to hug somebody, just gonna give them a sloppy hug, and that's fine. But when it comes to relationship, you have to avoid those sloppy kiss that are not exciting, and you have to look deeply into somebody's eyes when you are kissing them. Look them into their eyes, and when you do that, it's a connection that will bring you and the other person closer to them. Smile all the time. Smile at them. A kindly smile. It doesn't have to be big. There are some people who don't smile. You can join the laughter. There are some people now who are doing laughter, mini laughter group, where we just smile for 1 hour. So you can join those group that help you to basically to learn how to bring that smile into your relationship and fire up your relationship, and basically bring that excitement into your life. You don't want to, it has to come natural as well. You don't really want to go and read books, and you don't really want to go and listen to an audio, and then based on that, and then you start saying, honey, we've got to do this. You basically have to, it has to come from the heart. Anything that comes from the heart, that is comes from within, the spirit of love that has been created within. It's exciting. It brings a closer signal between you two, and it makes somebody very comfortable. It basically, it brings joy to somebody when somebody does things from the heart, and they're looking at you in their eyes, and basically showing you what they're doing. It comes from the heart, and everything has to align with your relationship, with your image. It has to align with when you are basically firing up your relationship, coming up with some romantic ideas. It's got to align with your image. No, basically avoiding to be something that you're not. It has to align with your image, and if you come up with some ideas, people come up with some different ideas, basically that is fine, but as long as aligned correctly with your within and with your image is fine. And just sometimes you can work on your breathing is good, to work on your breathing, and to work on your smiling as well. I said you can join the laughter groups. I'm in a laughter groups where we laugh every Friday and Tuesday, but I don't do Tuesday. I do Friday from midnight to 1 a.m. It's a 1 hour laughter, and where we just smile. So you have to practice your smile. You have to practice your movement. Basically, to firing up a relationship, you've got to walk it in front of your spouse, and you've got to walk it, and it has to be your own walk. So when you walk for somebody, they're like, oh, okay, yeah. So you've got to walk it, and what else do you need to do? What else do you need to do? Work it, and firing up your relationship. You know your spouse very well, and you know yourself very well. Sometimes some people, they love to see their basically as their spouse in a certain like wearing certain clothing, you know, like your spouse, what do they like, what do they really like, the things like you might have loads of clothes in your wardrobe, but there are some specific clothes that your spouse favorite, they love, they are their favorite, so you can wear those clothes, make sure it's still you, your favorite clothing, and buying some nice sexy things, why not, and they'll appreciate you. Just relax, embrace with your spouse. Sometimes some people, they like to relax and watch a movie with the popcorn and saying positive words, gratitude, appreciation, and with a kiss that is with a beautiful kiss that comes with it, not a floppy one, and sometimes women can compare kisses. They can compare their exes with their spouse that they're dating. So women like comparing kisses. You can hear them saying in melting butter. They give kisses names. They according to whatever. If you look at survey online, women likes to basically they describe this they describe different kisses and stuff, so you can actually uh, work on your kisses, making sure that when you're kissing your spouse, it's not just okay. That's how I kiss my children, but when you are kissing your spouse, it's got to be real. They've got to feel it. They've got to feel that romantic within. Um, they don't want to, you don't want to give them that fuzzy feeling of when you're from that kiss, so you need to give them a good kiss, so you can learn to be a good kisser anyway. You can learn anything nowadays if you want to really want to change and turn things around. You can actually uh, you can do anything, can learn anything. So romance is the critical component in that relationship, because uh, your mood has to be in the right place when you want to fire up your relationship. Is dependent of with me, basically with my mood, basically with just looking at the things, how things have been 2020. I basically have learned to keep my mood. I don't get angry anymore, because I basically, it's the flesh. The flesh, to me, the flesh destroys relationship. The flesh destroys people's image. So I basically ask God to crucify my flesh inside of me. So I speak my truth, but I don't get angry with things anymore. The reason why I don't get angry with things anymore, I just keep my mood in the happy place. I have to stay in a happy place, even if I'm sad. So I have to be in a happy place, and that's what I do. It is very very important, but some people, they don't know how to be happy. So that means you have to work on your mood, and the frame of your mind as well. It has to be in the right place. You have to work on your confidence as well, not to be afraid of taking risk. Is about taking risk. So you know the things, that the character that you are in that relationship, so you can take a risk and bring some positive romantic in your relationship, and enjoy yourself in that relationship, not taking things very, very serious. Some people take things very, very, very serious when they are in a relationship, but I don't take things very serious. I've always been like this. When I was growing up as a child, I've always I don't take things very serious. I take things in my business when I'm working, I take things very serious, but life is about having fun. Life is about enjoying your life. It's about opening up to your spirit within and connecting to your spirit within and enjoying yourself and having fun and loving as well. Uh, do you get grumpy? I do get grumpy sometimes, but when I'm grumpy, I do say it out loud that I am aware, because it's fine to be moody sometimes, but not with people. I get moody with myself, and sometimes I have to bring myself back on. So I have to be playful in a relationship. You have to be playful. You have to be spontaneous. Uh, Show that you can be vulnerable in that relationship. It is okay to be vulnerable, and have courage to speak, to have a conversation with the things that you love. Have courage to have a conversation with things that you find it difficult in your life. Have courage to actually have fun in your relationship, and is very, very important. And also maintain your eye contact and kiss that woman that you love. And I have my friend, she's from Africa, and when I kiss my spouse, she always tells me that it is odd. I don't know, I come from Africa anyway. She always said it is odd to kiss your spouse, it is odd to do this in public, it is odd to do this. But relationship is a relationship. It doesn't matter where you come from, what culture you come from. You have to show your love affection to your spouse, because you are not actually getting into a relationship with somebody for them to be your mom, to treat them like your mom, or to be your mother, or to be your father. You're getting into a relationship to have some romance. Doesn't matter whether you're African or whatever the culture you may be, there's still some romance in that culture. There's still romance. That's the point of getting into a relationship, is to have some romance, and it's just have fun, not to actually get married and not actually having fun with your spouse, or not going on dates. You still have to go on dates. You still have to look good. You still have to dress up. You still have to, for yourself, so you look good. You don't dress up because you want to you were looking for somebody, and once you find them, you don't bother to look after yourself. Your health has to look good. You have to look good. If you go to the gym, go to the gym. If you go to there's lots of people online now who are doing the diet. You just looking good for you, for your spouse, for yourself, for your children, for your spirit within. So it is good just to look after yourself and fire up that relationship, and your spouse as well. They will be genuinely, they'll give you some genuine compliment, because you show them that that's genuine smile, and you're paying attention to them, and you're making eye contact, and that's what life is about. And sometimes people say finances can destroy a relationship. you can ask, you can talk to people and say you can fire up your relationship, but then when you focus, every person in relationships, they have problems. It could be they have problems of not communicating it. When you date somebody, things are gonna be amazing. And in a year down the line, things are going to change. The reason why things are going to change is because maybe that person, they are finding themselves, they are finding their identity, they are finding, or they're having crisis within themselves. So what you're gonna need to do as a person, if you are in a relationship, you leave that person alone and then not nagging them or start nagging them and say this. You can talk to them, find out what is going on in their head, and just let them get on with their lives and get on with their head and sort their head out. Or that's why it's very, very important to have a therapist in your relationship. You have to have somebody, a coach. You don't get a coach just because you have problems. You get a coach um, basically to go and just firing up your relationship. If you can't communicate, some people can't communicate in the relationship with their spouse because they fear, because they hurt me, you've hurt me, you did this, you did that. When somebody hurts you, because we're all different, you have to learn to forgive. And forgiveness comes from within. It is a choice. And it is a decision that you have to make. If you don't forgive, that's why it's very, very important when people get married to actually use those vows, write them down. What do they mean, for better and for worse? So it's very, very, very important to write down those vows. So you can go back to them when things get tough. You can go back to them. But abusive relationship, that means you have to get out if you're being abused. But in a relationship, at some point you're going to have problems. So you just have to have the courage to bring your relationship. You have to have the skills. You need the skills to actually bring your relationship and fire it up based on your image, based on your spouse's image, based on the things that you desire yourself in that relationship, based on who you are as a person, not based on the book that you have written, you have read, and you want to change your spouse to become that writer that is written a book. Everything has uh, everything is different. Everyone is different. And so, and also the colors of the clothes as well. The colors of clothes, the colors of flowers, they speak. So what does the color, sometimes when somebody is wearing red, means not this red. When someone is red, means love. So when you go on dates, you can wear your red color, means red love, I love you. When you're wearing red and you're going out, or you buying them roses, red roses, it means you love them. Or you can wear a white dress, a red dress, or you can wear a red shirt, or a pink. It says perfect happiness. Please believe me. I love you when I say I love you. That's what pink means. Or pink roses, it means please believe me. And the peach is modest. And the color pink, whether it's the color dress or the roses, And the white, it means innocent and purity. And it also says, I'm worthy of you. You are my heavenly. Orange means it's fascinating. When somebody gets you orange rose or wearing rose, it's fascinating. Yellow means joy and friendship. And basically white, it means, white can means unity as well. And so you can actually you can choose the colors. There's so many things, like you can check in so many colors that have a different meaning, um, that you can use uh, to actually fire up your relationship and bring out that romantic to your loved ones. And remember, a woman in that relationship, there are some women who are control freaks. So remember, when every time you are doing it, you're trying to fire up a relationship, make sure you know your role as a man, and you know your role as a relationship. Men are leaders in that relationship, and man likes to lead. So even if you are a woman who is a control freak, make sure you still leave a man to lead that relationship. That is a golden rule. Men are basically, they like to do things in their own times. They like to they like to basically they like to do the things that they love. If you let a man, or you get to know a man properly, get to know the things that they love, and basically when you're doing firing up a relationship, you do things based on their image, your relationship will be awesome. They As long as you get to know the things that they love. If they love games, you're not going to change them. If they love playing games, just do what they like to do best. I don't like games because I am afraid of demons. When somebody is playing games, I like to talk about it. I can't say just because I love somebody, I'm gonna go on the computer and play a game with them. I like to talk about it. I like to talk about characters, so I can discuss things about characters, why they create the character of the game that they are creating, what does it mean to them. And I like to ask questions because it's the things that they love, and that when they explain, I look at that person in their eyes. And but playing a game with somebody just because I'm in love with them, I can't play games because some games can be very, very scary. So I don't like scary things. I like to keep my life very, very simple. So I don't like scary things. And just find out their favorite food, and take charge. Go out in a great night and take charge, but make the man believes that he is the leader. They like to do that. Make him thinks that he is a leader in that relationship. Then you'll be fine. As long as you know controlling the whole thing, just make him believe that he is a leader. They love it. Many, because a woman is a mentor in a relationship. A woman is never a leader in a relationship, even in the Bible. And that's why so many relationships they're not working nowadays, because a woman is a leader in a relationship, a man is a leader. It doesn't work. So you have to know your roles. There are different roles. A woman is a mentor, a man is a mentor, a man is an architect, a woman, she's basically she is a cheerleader. You cheer that man, you mentor that man. A woman gives life, she gives life. Basically, that is a role. And a man is a provider, and a woman is also a provider. So you have to, there are different roles when it comes to relationship. So you have to spice up your relationship. You have to know your role, and don't take your role as a man and becoming a leader, and the men they end up feeling useless in that relationship. And they need to feel love, they need to feel um, basically they are in control. And women likes to basically being looked after, even if no matter how much money they have. But they love that man with a who is an architect, a man who comes with a who is very creative, a man who has got different ideas, um, who basically will come up with the different ideas of how they want to take care of their woman, how they want to take care of this money. Although that woman, she's rich, but money does not mean anything if she does not find a man that would take good care of her. So women likes to be taken good care of. They like men, a well-cultured man, a man that open doors, a man that let the women go fast, a well-cultured man. That's what women they want. But nowadays, everyone says, why should I? But that's what women basically, that's what they desire. A man that's gonna take good care of them. A man that is gonna be there for them. Because no matter how much money I have, but I still need that human touch. We all have feelings. So money is an energy. Everything that we do is an energy, but we have another energy within us that has its own desire. That basically, so that is very, very important that you need to understand your own desires. You need to understand your own image, so you can turn that romance, you can spice it up again. So it is very, very, very important, and showing appreciation as well. And even through challenges, if you show appreciation, even through challenges in life, in that relationship, you're still gonna pull through. Because if that relationship has a good foundation, it needs a good foundation, and for that relationship to have strength, to have a good foundation, and you just need to, for a relationship to have a good foundation and to have strength, a man needs to know their role, a woman needs to know her role. It's very, very simple and straightforward. So sometimes we like to complicate things. And even if you have children, people say sometimes the children, they, when you start having children, a relationship can break. If you know your roles as a father, a man, normally when people have children, a woman takes care of the children and a father goes to work. But as a father, you still have to be, as a cultivator, as a father who has a vision of his children, how he wants his children to be raised, how he wants his wife to be looked after. So you still have to bring that vision. That's why you are a cultivator. A man is a cultivator. It means you protect, you love and protect your family. You don't abuse your children. You don't abuse your wife or your spouse. You love and protect. That is the man's job, even in the Bible. When you get married, or even if you're not married, your husband is your protector. So it's very, very important. Women loves men who protect them. But I'm not saying to going and smack somebody and saying you're protecting your woman. No, I'm just talking about normal things that normal human beings do. So they like to have that man that protects them. So to them is they're very grateful. So if you are that somebody, you have to understand your woman very, very well. to spice up your relationship, get into your woman is a head, get to know them, how they express their love, the romance, so that romance can be amazing. So you have to know your woman, and the woman has to know themselves. They have to know their role in that relationship. As a man, you have to know your role in that relationship. That will help to spice up your relationship. That will help whenever you have problems in your relationship. That will help you to solve those problems when it comes to your relationship. Somebody was chatting. Hi Liz, I didn't see you there. It takes two to make it work, though love. It takes two to make it work. Yes, it does. It takes two people to make it work in a relationship, not just one person. Some people believe that he has to make me happy, she has to make me happy, but that's not true. That's not true at all. No one has to make anybody happy. We have to work hard to actually build our relationship, to fire up the romance. And it actually is actually I agree with Liz when Liz says it takes two when it comes to relationship. Yeah, it takes two, and those two, they need to know their roles as a man. Why are you in that relationship? What is your role? It's like when you go to work, you get a job description. So when it comes to relationship, the man has their own job description, the woman has their own job description. So as a woman, you need to know your role in that relationship, and as a man, you need to know. That's why it's very, very important for a woman to date a man with a vision, how they want to raise their children, how they want to raise, where they want to live, where do they see themselves in 5 years in that relationship. A man has to have a vision, because a man is an architect in that relationship. So when a man is an architect, that means he's gonna have to bring ideas into that relationship. A woman obviously is a mentor, so a woman is going to have to mentor, make sure that the ideas comes to life. And when a man brings up the ideas, the woman, basically you mentor that, making sure that the ideas, that's why they say a successful businessman has a good woman behind them. If they're not married, it means it's their mother. If they're married, it means it's their wife that drives that man. So that's why they say a successful man has a good woman behind them. So that's what life is about. A woman's job is very, very important, but us women, we don't see how worthy we are. But a woman's job is very, very important as men as well. So you just have to know yourself. You just have to basically is come to 2 o'clock. So when it comes to relationship, you have to know your firing up your relationship. You have to know yourself, know your image, and fire up your relationship based on your image, based on the things that you yourself love. And when you do, when you create things based on the things that you love, it is amazing. It brings joy to your life. It brings joy to your relationship, because when you create something based on what your spouse love, it brings joy to them, because relationship is about two people. It's not about one person. So you get to know the other person. What do they like? And create everything based on them and based on you, based on two people. So you can all enjoy that relationship based on your want. Some people love expensive things when it comes to showing romance, but some people like to keep it simple. Everyone has a different language, so I can sit here and give you all the list, the things that you should be doing. But when it comes to relationship, a relationship is not about me, it's about you. You realizing what works for you, what works for your spouse, because we're all different, and creating that image and bringing everything, just implementing everything and having fun. It's all about having fun, knowing who you are, knowing the things that you love. Sometimes people love movies, like to keep it simple. Some people love to sit down and just have a chat. Keep it simple. If that's how you are, keep it simple, keep it simple. And guess what? It is romantic. You like picnic, you go to a picnic. Oh no, all my friends are going to a picnic. Do you like going to picnics? If it is that you love going to picnics, just go for it. Have fun, because it is something that you desire. It's something that you love. Some people likes to kiss, showing their romantic by kissing, by holding, by doing so many things, or by just sitting and chilling. Just do whatever. Some people likes to show romance by buying a car for their loved ones, buying a house for their loved ones, doing all sorts of different things. Bring it on. If that's how you are, that's what you like, you just do what you do, what you love, and have fun. And God bless you, everyone. We are here Monday to Friday at Ngozi Talk Shows. And God bless you, and live with grace.